on this computer. Rightio, here we go. All right, so just to kick things off before we jump into this epic training, I've really built it up, so I hope it's really going to be epic. I'm sure it is. We got week 4. And just a show of hands, obviously joined here with the beautiful Alicia Fernandez and Jen Schultz and other trainers and platinum millionaires on the call, like Andrew Logan and Scott Wood. But just a hands up if you did the homework. Hand right up. Get them up there. Half. Okay, that's all right. That's good. And the homework task was to do what? Anyone know?
Add 50 friends, 6 value posts, and 1 value post for the result, and no selling.
Yes, absolutely. That's right. 100%, Aaron. So it's to do 50 friend requests, 6 value posts for this week, no selling allowed, and 1 results post, no selling allowed. So doing that, what came up for everyone? What happened? Give me some juice.
I got my value post with my result, like it's a picture of me and the pants that were far too big, talking about just like what I've achieved through biohacking, and then just a bit of a, like, if you're interested, here's my freemium. Let me know in the comments if you want a copy. And I've had heaps of engagement with that. Heaps of people like, yeah, man, send me your book. What have you done?
Yeah, how good. Come on. Great. It felt good to give them something of value without selling them. Yep. Spot on. Not icky. Nice one, Jackie. It felt really good adding value with nothing attached to it. Feels good to network and give value and attract people to you and make them fall in love with you through reciprocity influence and become an influence ninja. 2 more. I know that's a couple of you. Leah, what happened to you?
I absolutely love this one, and it was such an eye-opener. So 2 really big things happened. I added 70 people as friends just from suggested friends, and 68 accepted, which is the highest I've ever had. And I basically bring it all down to the fact that everyone I was adding was all my target market. And all of my posts in the last week all were really focused at them. And then the other thing as well is my value post on Instagram is the most amount of interaction I've ever had so many people go into the DMs saying, thank you so much for all that value. You really, really helped me. In every post since then that I've put on, people are starting to interact a lot more. So just amazing, amazing training, changed everything.
Well done. Fantastic. It's only as good as those that implement it, but that's fantastic. So now you know how to be a networker online, and it's the same thing offline too, right? Well done. Love it. And Scotty Wood here said, did a reel Monday, it had 60 shares and 15,000 views. Far out. What was the reel?
It was just like a motivational type thing about strong men create good time.
Oh, yeah, that's a cracker.
Yeah, it just blew me away. But like, I've been very quiet on my socials this last couple of months in particular. So it's pushing me out of my comfort zone to do more. It's engagement through the roof. So
yeah, that's awesome. Imagine
it's because of this. It's because of this training.
But imagine if you had all these blokes following you for the stuff you put out, then you said, "Oh boy, guys, I'm doing this program to get stronger. Who wants in?" And you had 100 people enter.
Amazing.
Come on, that's awesome. Great stuff, mate. Brilliant.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Check it out. Have a look at the old reel. That's a good one. Sally Ann did a reel and she got her most views, 528. That's fantastic. Like, how much fun is it to network and build an audience? Right? Great, excellent. So now we're going to struggling with massively do invitation. I'm still struggling with this massively. Did do invitations. Okay. I'll just suggest this. You aren't going to figure it out before you do it. Just post. Let your audience tell you if it's good or bad or indifferent. Okay? Ask Andrew Logan if we ever reach out to him and go, Andrew, is this post good? What do you think about this? We don't bother him with that. We let the target audience tell us. We let Facebook tell us. If I don't get love on my post or shares, I know it's not up to scratch. I'm like, okay, I'll try something else.
But also, Lloyd, if you've only got 100 people that are seeing it, the same 100 people, right? Like that's why we have to every week be adding to that list. Like, you've got a capacity of 5,000. You want to be pushing that limit. So it has to be, the faster you get to to 4,600 friends, the better. And why you would sit for years and not have nearly 5,000 friends there is beyond me. If you want to build on social media, right? Just get it up there. And you'll get to the point, like I never send a friend request ever, but I wake up to 30 requests every single day minimum. And they're my target market. Like they're chasing me. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll have you. Awesome. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And so, you know, that's just how it all works. But as Lloyd said, you just got to chuck something out there. And if it gets crickets, well, there's a couple of reasons. Either it was really shitty and it just, like I do post sometimes and it's like, yeah, that was an unpopular message. And I'm like, you know, F it. I wanted to say it. But but you can't do too many of them, right? And sometimes you've got to go, well, how do I tell this story differently so people can feel like they're part of it, or maybe see that, oh, they're not feeling yelled at or, you know, lectured or whatever it is, but you have to massage it and you have to play with it. And trust yourself, trust your personality, trust who you are, instead of so many people go wrong because they just copy what someone else posted. They copy and paste, and Facebook knows, right? Facebook has an algorithm, and they go, oh, that's already been up. We're not going to push that into people's news feeds. But you know what else happens is, and you will know this, if you've recently become someone's friend and popped a message into their messenger, Facebook's going to show you their next 10 posts, and their ones from the last 2 weeks also will start to come up. So you want to make sure that those new friends are seeing who you are. And how
I'd
to
like to share something too, Jen.
yes, go ahead.
The platforms are all so different as well. So that post for me, guys, that's a unicorn, having 15,000 views already in a couple of days. It just hit a sweet spot, obviously, but the same post, the same reel on Instagram's had 100 views. So it's so different. That's why I think it's so powerful to stay with the platform that you work best in, where you've got the audience. Still do both, but obviously for me, Facebook's a way more powerful platform than Instagram.
Yeah. They will always be different. It's just the way. It's a good point though. I wouldn't be so critical at judging your content until you've done it for like test it out. You're allowed to test and measure. And
Yeah. Like Andrew just said, the great thing is if it sucked, no one sees it, right? Because the algorithm hasn't put it in people's news feeds.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think we go, oh, like no reactions, no comments, must have been really bad. It's like, no, actually just no one saw it. Like it just did, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Leanne's put in the chat here, should you post more than once a day? It's like, there's no rules around that, Leanne. You can post as much as you want. Gary Vee puts out 208 pieces of content a day.
Wow.
So he suggests 34 a day. And you don't have to create all types of different content, but he repurposes it. But you could, it doesn't matter, I don't think. Just as long as it's quality. Not rubbish, obviously.
But he's also like what's he bringing in millions per year, right? And he's mastered this. So it's like you don't want to scale really what's bad. He knows what to do, and he scales what's good and what's worked. So I think instead of going for quantity, first go for quality, make sure it works before you want to blow that up, right? Otherwise you're just blowing up something that's going to work the opposite direction for you, and going, I have to post 100 times a day because Gary Vee does. Yeah, well, sure, if your goal is to make 100 million a year, but maybe go for 10% of that or 1% of that first, and then ramp it up.
Yep, 100%. So Jen, do you want to jump in and talk about the key part of what we're going to be adding to the ingredients today?
Well, it really ties in with what we've done last week and what we're going to do, what we're going to move into this week. And it's like, just quickly before you can get into the fun stuff where Lloyd and Alicia are going to teach you something else pretty cool. A really great skill to have is understanding the why behind it. So really, what's the why behind creating the lead magnet? What's the why behind anything that we're doing, right? And so what are the 6 weapons? Do you remember what the 6 weapons of influence are? Who wants to say what they are? Do you want to either type them there or someone want to unmute and
I can chuck them out there, Jen, because I've got it written down in my notes.
okay, you tell us, Aaron, what are they?
Reciprocity, likability, authority, social proof, scarcity, urgency.
Okay, so can someone type those in the chat? So we've got reciprocity. What was next, Aaron?
Likability,
Likability. What's
Yep.
next? Someone
authority,
type authority.
social proof,
Yep.
scarcity,
Yep.
urgency.
Okay. Awesome. So, and remember, influence equals, what does influence equal? Certainty multiplied by enthusiasm. Okay. And what makes us more enthusiastic? More certainty. So the more certain we are about something, the more enthusiastic we're going to be about it. And sometimes enthusiasm is just checking in and giving ourselves a little slap, right? It's like first person we have to get engaged in the day is ourselves. And that's really about our focus. And what are we focusing on? Are we focusing on the problems or the possibilities? And a lot of us get into the habit of focusing on the problems instead of the possibilities. And that's where, so if we're thinking about influence, we're always wanting to influence. We're always wanting to create influence. That's how we make a difference in the world. So these tools are we're using social media, what we post on social media, whenever we're talking to people, whether it's on sending a lead magnet, whether it's creating an event or whether it's one-to-one, we're wanting to incorporate these tools of influence, right? These weapons. These are the things we need to master. So I would have on your wall where you see every day those words and that formula: reciprocity, likability, authority, social proof, scarcity and urgency, and then influence equals certainty times enthusiasm. And so the question you want to ask yourself every morning is, how do I get more certain about Isagenix? How do I get more certain about the products? How do I get more certain about the comp plan? How do I get more certain about the business model? What are my gaps? How do I increase my certainty? So for me, every time I help someone get started on the products and they have a great experience, that just sends my certainty sky high. When I read this book, Forever Strong, by someone completely not in Isagenix, so that's all about the importance of protein and lean muscle mass, that just sends my certainty sky high. Like, we have the secret sauce to health and longevity in Isagenix. And that sends my enthusiasm sky high. I'm like, oh my gosh, we've got the secret sauce. Like, we've got the world. The biggest problem in the world is that people are super unhealthy, and we have the best solution. Like, how can you not get excited about that? And then that excitement's infectious. But some of you are like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. And then that wanes your enthusiasm, of course, because you're only human, because you can't be enthusiastic about that which you are unsure about. And then how can you possibly have any influence? And so then thinking about reciprocity, so giving, give. And Jackie was saying just how good it felt not to try and sell anything, just to give, just to make a difference. So thinking every time before you post, every time before you phone someone up, every time before you have a conversation, it's like, how can I just help this person out today? Or what did I learn? Like Lloyd suggested on one of the calls, like, if you're reading, whatever book you're reading, you should always be reading a book. Just share, oh my gosh, like I'm reading this great book at the moment and I learned A, B, and C. But that's such an easy way to give value. And people love it because they're like, I don't have to read the whole book and I just get to learn and see that someone else is on a journey. There's so much in that. There's so many ways to give value and start that reciprocity going on. And then likability. What are the things we can do to be more likable? And think about that every day. What can I do to be likable today? What does that look like? How can I, it's like we know the answers. And if we don't, we can go find out. We can figure it out. But it's things like using someone's name in a conversation, right? So remembering things about them, sending them a birthday message, encouraging them, jumping on Facebook and going, oh my gosh, like that's just so awesome that you did that, cheering them on, even if they're not in our space and even if we think they never will be, because maybe they will be one day. Authority, because people are always going to listen. And how do you get authority? Well, you get more certainty, you practice, you want to become a master at something. You want to become the go-to person about something. And that's, you can't just pretend that. You can't just copy someone else's post and stick it on yours and pretend that you're an authority. Like people smell that from a mile away. You need to become the authority. So study it, learn it, become an authority in a space. And it can be any space. Like if I want to go to an event and look good, I'm going to phone up Alicia and say, get me an outfit, please. Right? Because like, look at all that awesome reels and all the outfits. Like you can't help but watch. So you can choose any topic and know what you stand for and what you stand against. I've got so many people send me friend requests because I'm commenting on some tinfoil hat thing, right? And it's like, yeah, oh my gosh. And then they're like, oh my gosh, well, I love what she said. And then all the friend requests come. To just decide who you are and be that person, and your tribe will come to you. Social proof. So we all know and love social proof, right? And then scarcity and urgency. So like my post, when did I do that post? A couple of days ago. Oh, about I got sick of people saying, yeah, I want to do it, but then they don't do it. So I'm like, right, I'm going to start a group on Monday. If you want in, it's my rules, my way, when I say, basically. And boom, it's like 4 enrollments today from that one post. And then probably 10 fluffers who they're going to miss the cutoff date because they didn't order their products by today. But that's the scarcity and the urgency part of it. So always just trying to, and you don't have to use all of them all at once, you can just use one at a time, but know these things. And you will just become so influential. Because to sell something, you need to influence someone, right? So to make money in business, you must master sales. Therefore, you must master the art of influence. So how to never be broke again is to be able to influence. And these tools and what Lloyd and Alicia are going to teach you now is another way to demonstrate influence and to influence, to demonstrate authority, likability, all of these things, and to be able to have influence and influence at scale. So I'm going to hand back to Lloyd and Alicia to go to the next.
How do we implement it, right? Like where
Go, yeah.
we always spoke about audience, building an audience, and Leah's been able to, and a lot of you have added people to your audience. And Jem was saying how simple it is to execute those weapons of influence. We want to teach you now with these tools how to actually craft a workshop where you can talk about your special thing whenever you want, online or offline. The framework's the same, and just teach you how to do that so you can go off and do it for the rest of your life. Because if you can do this, you will attract people to you and you will create trust and rapport with them so much about something so unrelated to Isagenix that when time comes for them to enroll or they see a post, they're going to enroll. And all the hard work's done because you've nurtured your audience and you're influencing them. So how do we implement this? Well, it's through a workshop. And so does everyone know what a workshop is? It's like an engaging, not like a masterclass, it's an engaging experience. Okay. So to do this effectively, what we're going to do is we want you to write down. Well, let me just show you what a structure looks like so you can see what a workshop kind of looks like. Okay. You've all experienced a bit of a workshop through this training. You're all byproducts of a workshop. Very similar to a workshop. So there's an introduction, there's a training piece. So Jen just spent 10 minutes training on how to create influence, right? And now we're going to do an exercise. So I want you just to write, this is the exercise. Write down the main theme of your workshop, what it's going to be about. Okay, that's the exercise. So we're going to do that for 5 minutes. So please, Scotty's going to hum some jazz for us, and we're going to write down what topic you're going to do your workshop on. Okay. For Scotty, it could be, I don't know, whatever. It could be doing a muscle up, could be whatever. So that's the exercise. We need to nail that first, and then we go to the next part, which we'll experience called a breakout. Then we'll Q&A it, and then we'll close remarks. So you're actually a byproduct. We're workshopping you now, so you're actually part of it, right? And then I'm going to teach you how to. We're going to teach you how to execute it.
So think about if you could gather a group of people, whether online or in your house or in a hall at an event, whatever, big, small, and you could run a workshop. What would you choose? Like, what comes to you? Think of the first thing. You might think of 3 different things, but like, we've got to get creative, right? Creativity is where the money is, and the best ideas, I promise you, have not been thought of yet. Lloyd and Alicia, Andrew, Adam, Scotty, all of us who've maxed out the comp plan, we haven't thought of the best ideas yet. They are still coming. So what would it look like? Like, how to get rid of cellulite workshop, how to sleep better workshop, how to halter train hairy cows workshop. You know, like, what does it look like? That's what to brainstorm. What do you think other people might be interested to learn about that you could facilitate? You may be the expert, you may invite the expert along. There's another idea.
How to braid hairy cows, whatever it might be, you would want to nail it now because it's going to really relate to the homework task. So something that you would love to talk to people about. Could be like green hats. I just love green hats so much. We're going to do a workshop on how to create a green hat. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Just something you love. Like Rose talks about decluttering. She'd have a decluttering workshop. Be very straightforward and it will be very popular, right? Liam might have a workshop on, I don't know, basic psychology. He may have a workshop on how to work out in the gym. There's so many different things you could do a workshop on, right? That lends itself to your unfair advantages. Things that you know that other people don't. For Anouk, it's like how to avoid burnout. I'm going to run a workshop on it. Sounds good. Sign me up. Where do I go? I'm burnt out. I need some help. How to use Canva to create content that converts. Perfect. What a wonderful title for a workshop. Very good. That's top shelf. That's a great topic. Not just how to use Canva, but to create content that converts. So just not just the topic, but why they'd want to learn it. What a great hook. Pop your ideas in the chat so we can see. Andrew says, this lady I work with, her brand is all about orchids. And her engagement's off the charts, hundreds and hundreds of comments. Passionate about orchids. Perfect example of that. Living internationally. How to kill your hair in less than 10 minutes.
That's a spelling mistake. I'm going to delete that one. Living intentionally.
Okay. Living intentionally. So you might do like a vision board workshop, Scotty. Something that's tangible, right? That they can sink their teeth into. How to sit a high C, how to hit a high C singing. Or it might even be, Susan, like, that's very detailed. I like it. But it might be how to sing for beginners, even if you don't think you can sing well yet. Like just the basics. Who hasn't thought about, maybe I'll bang out a tune.
And remember, when you're building your network in a space that you actually enjoy, it just comes so much easier. And then when the orchid lady says to her orchid network, oh my gosh, like I was feeling like crap. I just lost 5 kilos, and this guy called Andrew that lives down the road showed me exactly what to do. I'm gonna run a workshop and get him to come. Who wants to come? Guess how many orchid people are going to turn up? A whole stack, because they're like, so see how it doesn't have to relate to Isogenics in the building phase, it's just the, does that make sense to people? Because I still feel like people are thinking, I've got to build my audience of people who really want to change their health. Your audience doesn't have to be full of people who really want to change their health. It can just be anyone, because at some point, everyone wants to change their health. There's not a single person on the planet who at some point hasn't had a health goal.
Yep. How to play golf and survive. How to drive a ball. It's something you can teach and train. Particularly software is good because it's online. Communication is quite good. How to get over your fear of public speaking in 60 minutes or less. Like,
and the more specific you get, like if you say how to improve your health, it's kind of like, what does that actually mean? But if you can specifically say, let people know coming to this workshop is going to solve a problem they have, they're more likely to say yes and want to come, right?
how to relax. Yeah, I think you could do one on burnout. How to overcome burnout in 3 steps with my workshop, and you could do interaction with them too. That's a good one. You don't have to go to like. That's really good. I think you can do that. How to reduce swelling off your. Is that a passion of yours, Fee? Where's Fee?
At the moment it is, but it's just
Very specific.
it is very specific because I've achieved my results. So that's why it's very specific and it's very much needed.
Okay. What's something like not related to health that you love?
Not related to health?
Yeah.
Running, sustainable fashion. So I put some other things up there before.
Yeah. I think how to shop sustainably, or you could do that. I think something that's not related to health would do everyone. It would do yourself a favor if you didn't relate it to health. Just because I think it's getting, you may get confused thinking that you have to attract an Isagenix audience, and you don't. Now, if anyone who's a PT, they're like, well, I'm a PT and I love my fitness. Well, great. Show us how to do a muscle up. Take one thing of fitness and craft a workshop about that one thing. Not about how to get healthy. It's like, well, what specifics, like what Jen said. This is good. Making basic nutrition lunch boxes for your children in 15 minutes. Great. Unleash your inner queen. How to shatter your limits with your confidence. Lee, I'd go more specific and go, how to enter your first pageant, how to win your first pageant, even if you've never done it before. Like, it has to have meat on the bone, guys. It can't be some like airy-fairy thing. It's like, show me specifically what I will learn on this workshop. Like, I have to take away something tangible, right? Does that make sense? Like, I want to take something away from this that is very, very valuable. So like, for example, right now, we're teaching you how to run a workshop online so you can print money on demand. How to get your message to the world in less than 60 minutes on a workshop that's infinitely scalable to print money on demand, even if you've never done it before. Sign up to my workshop on how to run workshops. Okay, we're all got our topic. Who's feeling more confident with their topic? Hands right up. I can't see. Hands up. Double hands up. Spirit fingers. Do the spirit fingers I can see. All right. I can see you guys now. Okay. Most of you. I know you'll have to work on this as you go, but don't worry. You can't make a mistake. Even if you've got one there that it makes sense to you and you want to talk about it, go and execute the workshop with it. We're going to talk about how to do that now. But when you do it, you'll realize, oh, that's what they meant. Because you'll go to do the workshop and you go, oh, I have no meat on the bone here. What the heck am I even talking about? And it'll come together for you. Okay. So how do you run a workshop? Anyone know? Does it look easy doing this, what we're doing right now? I bet it does. Let me tell you, it's not that easy when you first start out. Here's a template. Yes. So here's the first steps, okay? This is definitely the template you're going to follow in terms of the content of the workshop. So once the workshop begins, you have a little introduction, maybe share a little bit of your story, and then you give your training piece, okay? How I'm going to teach you how to, the 3 steps to winning your first pageant, even if you've never won. Step number 1, you're going to do this, okay? Now, guys, now I want you to go do an exercise. So you give them 5-10 minutes, ask someone to hum a tune as they do it, exercise. They all put pen to paper for the exercise. Then you're going to do a breakout, okay? And then a Q&A session and so forth. So here's what we're going to do now before we go into the physical process. In fact, we might do this, then the breakout. What do you think, Alicia? Should we do the training, then the breakout? That'd be better, I think.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so that's the structure. So Anouk's correct, you've got to invite. So you've got to set a date, yep. And if you're going to do it online, there's a process by which you do that because you have to register people for your workshop, yes? So does everyone know how to do that on Zoom? Would you all like to learn? Okay, first step, set your date, execute on Zoom, and have a system do all the heavy lifting for you so you don't have to worry. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Pay close attention. You'll have to have, just a caveat, you're going to have the actual Zoom to do this. The one you pay for, like a business owner. You're going to have to do that. I think we got Zoom within our first 12 months of Isagenix, we're paying for Zoom. So it's time to put the big kid pants on and buy it if you haven't yet. Some of you might already have it, but you need the actual paid version to do this.
It's only like, isn't it $15 a month for the capacity to do this?
I'm not sure on the exact, we pay 97 or something, but
I think the lowest one will give you this functionality.
Yeah, Jen, I think I just paid 150 for the year.
great.
Yeah.
Perfect. There we go. Excellent. $150 and you have access to this amazing software. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Not this. I'll show you how to set it up now. Go to zoom.us. So you have to go through the internet. Zoom.us, not the Zoom app, zoom.us. Okay. And then you go to my account. And you log in to your account. Click on meetings. And then click schedule a new meeting. Do not click on webinar. Just click on meeting, schedule a new meeting. Give it a title, how to win your first UT pageant without being pretty. Whatever it might be. Okay. Just playing around here. And you can put a little description if you want. Like what's really cool about this is you could take this, for example, copy that, go to ChatGPT and type in, give me a 1-sentence description for this event. Paste it there, boom. I just did that too quick. There we go, done. So you can just take that and you can just paste it in there if you want. Emphasizing attribute on physical appearance. Great. Okay, then you got to pick your day. Okay. So when do you want to do this? Who wants to run their event? Let's say 31st of January. We're going to run this on this Thursday evening at 7 p.m. So you click on the day you want it. Duration 1 hour is good. Okay. Time zone Brisbane. You can change that time zone, obviously. Recurring meeting, not this time. Attendees, you can leave that. That's fine. Then you come down here and click registration required. Click on that. And that means they have to leave their email address to actually enter it. Okay. But then you got to get rid of the passcode. That's a block for them to come in. Okay. So required, they've got to put their email address in, and you'll capture email addresses doing this, by the way, a big list of email addresses doing this. Generally automate the meeting template. That's fine. Only users admitted can host can join the meeting. Yep. So you have to admit people. Leave that blank. Leave that blank. Video off. You can kind of be really cruel and make sure when people join that their video is already on. If you want to do that, you don't have to. Mute. This is an interesting one. Click on more options. So show, then click mute participants upon entry. That's an important one. So you're not forever trying to mute people if you have a lot of people come in. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Click save. And your meeting is registered and ready to go. Okay. Your workshop's ready and registered to go. So title's there. All you have to do is this. Now, all you do at that point is copy this link. Okay. And if I wanted to send it to whoever, I just copy and paste and send that link. They click it and they're registered. Okay. Got that? So I'm going to, as an example here, I might send this to Alicia. So here we go. Send this to Alicia. There we go. So she's got that link now. And once she clicks on that, she registers. Okay. And then I can tell if I click on registration, it'll tell me how many people have registered. Right? Tell me how many. So you can always tell how many have actually registered. Right? Now the meeting ID is there. So if people want to, if you need to give someone the meeting ID, it's there. But typically if they click register and they've registered, they'll get an automatic email from Zoom with the link to access the room. They'll already get it in their email. So you say, hey, so when I send a link like this, as soon as I send it, I'll say, hey, did the link work okay? This is called follow-up in network marketing. You start follow-up. As soon as you send a link, your follow-up begins. I'm like, hey, did the link work okay? And then Alicia will come back and say, yes, worked fine. Sure did. Cool. The link to join will be in your email from Zoom. Can you see it in there? This is important steps, guys, because if you just flick out links without doing these steps, they're not going to register. You're going to have an empty workshop. So I'm giving him ownership. Say, is it in there? Can you check for me? She'll say, yes, it's in there. Say, great. I say, great. This workshop will be life-changing. Life-changing. Can't wait. Please, forward this link to 2 friends you'd like to join with or whatever, right? You can tell them to send the link and forward it to other people. Okay. Then I make a note in my notes section that that person is registered. I know they have because I've checked with them. Okay. And then I go back before the event begins and I tell them, hey, it's going to be so good. Can't wait to have you on. We're going to talk about this and this. I'm amping them up, right? Enthusiasm, excitement. But here's what you can do. Once you're, like you can see, Alicia's registered, right? Now what you can see is you can click view and you can view the whole list. So if we had 100 people register, okay, you click view, you can see all the 100 people who are registered. And then before the event, like the day before, you click view, you highlight with a tick and you click resend email confirmation, bang. And that sends them another email, say, hey, the event's coming up. And then the day of the event, do it again. And 5 minutes before the workshop, do it again. We're in a busy world. If you don't follow up like this in the messenger and you don't send those 3 emails, they're going to go, where's the link? What's going on? Like, people are so busy. So many things going on. Got that? These are really the inside. This is like the back office of how we get so many people in the workshops. Like, you have to understand this is not just a link. There's more to it. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, right? So, now you can do this too. Branding, if you want to. If you want to, oh, you know what? To save, don't have to do it, but you could even upload a photo to there for branding to make it look a bit sexier. So when I send it in Messenger, right, it's got a little photo there, so it looks kind of sexy. You can do that if you want. It looks more professional, but if you want to do that, upload a photo there like that. You make sure it's got to be the right size. You can always edit the photo and check and reduce the size because it's got to be 640 by 200. Just reduce the size till it is or whatever it is, and then you can upload it, and then it looks sexier. Okay, that's pretty much it. Email settings. Okay, so you're done. So here's what happens next. The day of the workshop arrives. Okay, and you go, oh my God, it's my first workshop. I'm going to poop my pants. I'm going to be so nervous. What if I make mistakes? Blah, 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 blah. And you go, it's okay. I'm here to grow. I'm not perfect. And in 1,000 years, everyone will be dead and buried, and who cares? So then you come up here and you go, okay, how do I start this Zoom thing again? That's right. It's not in my Zoom. Oh, where is it? Oh my God. Right. Okay. Oh, it's a zoom.us. Okay. So I got to go there. So I got to log in here. Okay. Yeah. Log in. Okay. I'm in. Okay. Now click my meetings. Okay. There's the meeting. Okay. There it is there. Okay. We're ready to start. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is what's going to happen to you, by the way, just so you know. I'm actually giving you real life examples of what happens when you first do it. You get over it. How to win your first beauty pageant? You do it in your sleep eventually. Click start. Oh my God. Hopefully this doesn't break this soon. Anyway, let's not go into it in case it does. But it'll start, open, and bang, you'll be on. Okay? And it's time. And you go, oh my God, what's going to happen? Okay, where's the framework? Where's the framework that Lloyd, Alicia, and Jen shared on the call? Okay, yeah. For step number 1, what was it? Workshop structure. Oh, yeah. Well, welcome, everyone. I just like to set a positive tone. So, yeah, we're going to talk about how to win your first beauty pageant, even if you're challenged in the looks department. Before I do that, who would like to learn how to do that? Great. Who here is a little bit nervous about being on here? Who's excited about? Okay, great. Thanks. So you're getting to engage. Cool. Okay, so step number 1 to winning the beauty pageant. You got like maybe your slides up. So there's something you have to learn about Zoom is this. Okay, I can't show you here, but at the very bottom of your Zoom when you're the host, there's a big green button, and it says share screen. Okay, got that? So you click it, and in the top left it says screen. And then down the bottom right, it says blue button says share. Click it. Oh, look at that, like magic. The screen has shared. Okay. And then you might have this beautiful PowerPoint that Alicia's going to show you how to make in a second. And you'll have your PowerPoint slides ready to go. Okay. Got that? And then you just flick through them. Like if I want to flick, okay, beauty pageant, this is your first step. Then, oh, this is the next step. Okay, got that, guys. Right? And you're kind of doing it. Okay, you're in your workflow, you're in your workshop, getting through it. Okay. Now, when you do your training piece and your exercise, okay, your training piece is 10 minutes, then an exercise. Guys, now what I want you to do is I want you to have a go. Okay, so that's what we do here. We're like, hey, write down your topic. And when you've done that, pop it in the chat. So you're getting the audience to engage you. Okay. Then it's going to come time where you're going to poop your pants again, because the first time you've ever done it, you're like, oh my God, I hope this works. It's time for them to discuss things, okay? It's time for them to discuss things. Before we do that, let me just show you something very quick before we do our own breakout where you can discuss things, because we're running a real live workshop here. PowerPoint, okay? Alicia's going to show you how to sexy up a PowerPoint, but literally, this is what your workshop PowerPoint looks like, okay? How to win a beauty pageant without blah, 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 okay? By Leah, okay, whatever it is your title, okay. Then you have another slide. You might have my story, okay. It's always good to share a story because it tells you know what you're talking about, gives you authority, okay. So my story, you put nice pictures of yourself winning this beauty pageant, great, put all this influence up. Next slide, you go step number 1 of 3. So it's usually secret number 1 to winning your first beauty pageant, okay. Secret number 1. First beauty pageant. Find a pageant. Buy your pageant ticket. That's it. And I know it's scary, guys. You're going to buy your first pageant ticket. Here's how you do it. Here's where you find it. This is what I did. This is how much it's going to cost. You got to be ready. Secret number 2. Okay, you do next slide. Obviously, you've built this before your thing. You want to build it on the fly like this. Secret number 2. Getting your wardrobe ready. Getting your dresses, right? Getting a mortgage from the bank so you can buy all your dresses for your beauty comp. This is how you do it. Blah, 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 blah. This is how I get my dresses. This is how it happened to me. This is all the pitfalls. Boom, 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 boom. Now I'm going to, now think about what you're going to do to get your dresses. Great. Awesome. The next one, the most important thing, guys, with a beauty pageant is, yes, that's correct. The walk, how to walk properly, right? To win. It's all in the walk. It's in the posing and walking. Posing, walking. Okay. Great. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do an exercise. This is your exercise. You can do an exercise after each secret if you want to, or you can just call it exercise. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do this in my lounge room, and so are you. We're all going to do the walk together. Now, watch me as I do it, as I get up. And do this and do this. No, not like that, like this. Yep, that's it. Perfect. We're all practicing. Great. That's how you do your walk. Okay. Whatever. Like you get it, right? Exercise, and then it's time to do your breakout. So your PowerPoint presence like breakout session, and just remind you to do it. Everyone will poop their pants, okay? And you'll say, okay, it's time to do a breakout session, blah, blah, blah. Then you'll finish it off with a call to action, okay? If you're wanting to learn more, follow me on social media, send me a DM, I'll give you some bespoke sessions, or jump on it, we can book in a time, I'll help you personally with what to do next. Give me more value. Book in with me, I'll give you a free session of how to move forward, okay? And when you do that, they owe you so much. Tomorrow when you say, I hope you really enjoyed it, yes, I did. Listen, I forgot to mention this in the workshop, but like I use this health program to get in shape. Is that something you want to do for the beauty pageant? Yes. Would you like me to send you some information? Yes, please. Boom, purchased. Within, like, of course they're going to buy it because you just gave them all that value, right? Anyway, there's a quick example of what a PowerPoint presentation framework might look like without going into too long because we'll be here forever. That's it for me. I'll now hand you over to Alicia, who's going to teach you quickly how to sexy up your PowerPoints in Canva.
Who's glad that they came today to today's workshop so they could learn from Lloyd on how to win a beauty contest without being pretty? Yes, so good. 90% of success in life is just showing up. So thank you, Lloydie, for that. That was very, very entertaining. And let me know in the chat, who's already got value from tonight's workshop training session? Yeah, a few of you. So good. Because our intention, like as we're building.
How many? Wait, there's like 4.
It's coming.
What the heck? Who got value? That's worth $5,000. That's worth $10,000 by itself. Get excited. Double hands, spirit fingers. Come on. My God.
I think for some people with technology, it's like, whoa, that was a little bit, that was a lot at once. But when you actually go through Zoom and you set up you register for your first event, of course, you're going to be like, what did Lloyd say? What button should I push? But after 2, 3, 4, you go on there and you do it just like what Lloydie did tonight, because we've just done so many of them. So with anything new, it's always a little bit like, oh gosh, there's so much to it, but we're driving, right? Who gets into a car now? You arrive at your destination. You're like, how did I even get here? I don't even remember driving. So it's exactly the same thing with technology. And so we really want you to master Zoom because it's a great resource that we can actually use from home. So what I want to do is just build on Canva. So who was on the training where we went through Canva together for the lead magnets? Yeah, a lot of you. Amazing. And so we're just going to build on that tonight so that you feel equipped, that you don't have to be a graphic designer. You don't need to be a designer in order to create your slides. And the last thing that I'd want you to do is take hours and hours and hours creating these slides, because at the end of the day, it's not all about the slides. It's how you make people feel when they jump on the workshop. Okay, so it's not necessarily about the content. And so my internet is a little bit unstable tonight for some bizarre reason. So if I cut out any point, I do apologize for that, but I'm going to do my best. So we're going to head over to Canva. Look what I updated as we were chatting tonight. I changed my screensaver here on my desktop, so I have a reminder each and every day for the 6 powers of persuasion or influence. All right, so we're heading to Canva. So let's go there. And this is going to be a really quick training because, like I said, it's just building on what we learned a few weeks ago. So what you want to do is when you jump onto Canva, you can search anything. You can search presentations, you can search slide deck, you can search sales deck, whatever. But what we're going to do tonight is we're just going to do like health presentation. So you can even put in, maybe Leah, you could put in like beauty presentation and see what comes up, because the design may come up for you, but always play around with that search icon, especially specific to the topic that you want to talk about. So what you can see is Canva have a bunch of templates that you can choose from. So you're just going to look like a graphic designer without having to be one. And when you hover over each design, again, it will show you that there's actually 12 pages in this actual slide deck, okay? And then you can see some of the artwork as you move through. So again, just sift and sort, see whichever jumps out to you, which one you like, whichever brand or colors align with you. But for the sake of this example, we'll just choose this one, healthy food. Okay, it's got 12 slides. What I'm just showing you here is how to actually use Canva. So all you're going to do is go customize this template. And then of course you can go ahead and edit it. So what you do here with a slide deck, which is slightly different to your lead magnet, is you basically just go apply all 12 pages, and then Canva will populate these 12 pages for you. So you can go ahead and edit them. All right. It may take a couple of seconds. And then what you can do is move across, and you can start editing. So you can put in, you know, that structure that Lloydie was sharing with you. So you have your title, you'd have your story, you'd have your 3 secrets, and then you could have a call to action if you want to have a call to action for them to work with you further or whatnot. Whatever you want to do, that's what you can decide to do, because it's your workshop and how you want to handle it. But again, very, very similar to the lead magnet. If you go in and you want to change the photos, you can go and edit the photos by uploading your own. I showed you that a few weeks ago, or of course you can search Canva, who have thousands and thousands and thousands of photos for you to use. So of course you just scroll across and it will change all your images for you, and you can go and change the fonts, the colors, very, very similar. So with your slide deck over here, when you scroll down at the bottom, you'll be able to see all your different slides. If you want to delete any, if you just hover across those 3 dots, you just go, I don't want this page, delete this page, bye-bye. Or if you really like this design, you can go, I want to have that on another page. And so you just go duplicate this page. And so now you have 2 of them, and you can move these over wherever you want. So if you want it to be slide number 10, it can be slide number 10. So what you can do when you're presenting, so you can present on Zoom. So you jump on Zoom, you've got a sweaty bum, you're sweating everywhere because you're nervous, and you're like, it's my time. They've shown up for me. I'm going to teach them a thing or two. So you can actually present right here on Canva. So you can go present. And when you go present, it will bring up a big screen. And you can actually present right here on Canva. You don't have to download anything. But for me, I personally love to download it, because that way I don't have to rely on the internet if things are slow, and I'm ready to go. So once you're happy with your slide deck, all you've got to do to download it is just tap on share. And then what you can do is you can go download. And instead of it being a PDF, you can download it as a Microsoft PowerPoint document. Download, and it's going to download as a PowerPoint. And once it's downloaded as a PowerPoint, you can upload it onto your desktop. So I'll do that for you right now. Where are my downloads? It's still downloading. Okay, here it is. So you can see it's a PowerPoint. Bring it over to my desktop. And if you open it up, there it is. And just go enable editing. And you can edit it here in PowerPoint as well. Okay, so you can take it from Canva with its amazing graphics and design, and then you can bring it in over to PowerPoint. You just can't change the images. That's what you have to do in Canva. But yeah, that's just a brief, I guess, a brief tutorial on how to use Canva in order for you to create slides really, really quickly, because the last thing we want you to do is take up a lot of time creating those slides. Cool.
Even though you will, because not all of your slides will just come with pretty like you have to write the content. It may take hours and hours and hours to build a great workshop slide deck. But when you're first starting out, like Elise said, you don't have to, but it's okay if it does. Like, be okay with that. Working weekends just to build your business, expect that stuff. If you want a 6-figure business, it will take time as well. But what an amazing shortcut that is to make them look sexy. So awesome. Who really enjoyed that Canva? It's wild, hey? All of you? Yeah, awesome. Great. So,
well, I think Micah said that she was doing a workshop on how to use Canva to create content that converts. There you go. You can see that there's a market for it. So
high demand. There you go. Great. Well, now we've done that as part of the workshop framework. What's next? Once we've taught you this, okay, we've done it. Obviously, there's a chance where you can do an piece of an exercise. But what's next on the agenda? Anyone remember? Almost finished.
Was it a breakout?
Yeah, breakouts. So now it's about getting your audience to intermingle. This is where the magic happens in face-to-face events, just so you guys know, at events and on online events, this is not the magic. The magic is when people talk to each other. Okay, it really is. So really, we've done a lot of talking. We wouldn't normally do this much talking on a workshop because we're trying to train, but this is how you do it. Ready? You go, okay, everyone, ready for a workshop now. Guys, really important because we want you to share this information and collaborate and network with each other and meet someone new. So for all the introverts, I know this is probably outside your comfort zone. Please don't leave when we do this because it's super fun. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into little breakout rooms. You're going to meet someone new. There's like 2 or 3 or 4 people in a room. Person with the shortest hair goes first. Just share the number one takeaway you got from this particular workshop today. Each person has to go 30 to 60 seconds. This is called inoculating people. This is all part of the routine. Because if you just send them into a breakout and they don't know what's going on, they're going to like, what the hell is this? They're going to disappear, right? So inoculate them and prepare them for the breakout. And then down the bottom, there's 3 little dots. You click it. It says breakout rooms, okay? And then you just create, just select the sign automatically, click create. So how many people we got on the Zooms? 26. So we do say 5 rooms, 5 in each, right? Roughly. And then you just click the blue button says create. Everyone will go off into their rooms and then you can close the rooms later and bring them back. You can also go into one of the rooms yourself. Okay, so right now, let's test it out. The one thing that you got from this training that you're going to implement going forward, or your one value topic you're going to run your workshop on. Okay, just share one of those things with your group. We'll come back to the room and we'll do some.
And before you send everyone off, as part of the homework assignment, you will be working with your breakout group this week. And so just make sure that you know who's in your breakout because you'll need them this week, if that makes sense. So pay attention, connect with whoever's in your breakout group because you're going to need them this week.
Okay, ready? Steady. Cook. You'll be put in there automatically. This will be awkward silence for you when you're running your workshop, but just got to deal with it. And there's always a straggler, someone that can't get in there because they haven't pushed the button.
Oh, that's too funny, Lloyd.
Those watching the replay, this is what happens when you put people in a breakout room. You sit here by yourself, waiting for people to come in. For those who are watching the replay of this, just so you know, you can go into a breakout room by selecting breakout rooms and then just join one. You can click join, these blue buttons here, like just join. So we could join one right now, but we'll hang out here and for 60 seconds and wait and bring everyone back in a second.
For people watching the replay, I'm just still having visuals of Lloyd in high heels in a pageant dress going across the stage. Oh my gosh.
Right, a kick-ass workshop about pageants. We got
Oh,
plenty of watching us.
yeah, I just got this visual of you in a pageant.
Terrible.
Yeah, hairy legs and all.
Oh no.
They have them for men. They have Mr. Universe. They have Mr. World. Who knows?
True. I just had the dresses. I had him shopping for dresses, everything.
I've seen it all unfold. It's like it's no easy thing. I like to watch it. It's amazing. But I think that's a great one for Leah. There's some really good ones that are going to come out of this training.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, people can do this. It's going to be great. So if you're watching the replay and you hopefully you're watching it and you're going to implement this.
You can broadcast your voice now into the rooms.
How do you do that?
If you tap on broadcast,
Yeah.
see how it says broadcast message or broadcast voice?
No, I just have broadcast.
Oh, okay. There's two. There's broadcast message and broadcast voice.
Right.
Maybe I have that because I'm host.
Yeah, I think so.
That's funny. It's like, God, this
How do I get,
is.
how do I get host? Give me host. I say that. You gotta test this out. What is it? Break it. Broadcast.
I
Wow.
made you host.
Yeah, let me check.
See, check.
Yes. Okay. Ready? Wait. Scott Wood to the Big Brother room. Okay. It's probably enough of that. All right. Hey, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Everyone watching the play, this is what happens behind there. You got to test things out, break stuff. Okay, let's see. Let's bring him back, eh?
Yep.
We'll almost hit end meeting. Don't do that, people. Breakout rooms. Close all rooms. Okay. Close all rooms. What's it called? It wasn't called the Big Brother room, was it? Who was it? Such and such to the. What was the room called where they called on Big Brother?
I can't remember. It wasn't the green room. No, I don't know. It's been a long time since we watched that. Hey, Mel.
Hi, how are you?
So good.
Did anyone hear our voice message go out?
Yeah, that's great.
There's a new feature. Alicia just discovered it. And we're like, oh, let's test it. Let's test it out.
Big Brother is watching you.
What did they used to say on the show? Big Scott Wood for the diary room.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, that's good.
You sounded like it too.
Great. That's good. Well, we know how to use that now. No sense having a feature if you don't use it. Well,
You know what would have been really, really cool if we did this about 3.5 weeks ago, because you would have saved us about 46 weekends.
I know, but you know what? It's maybe
It's
not.
so good.
I don't
It's
think so. I don't think so, Rose, because I think it's better you did that yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I will commend you two. Like, just so everyone knows, Rose and Liam have been in front of this for months, and they'll go and blow their business up because they're strides ahead of just getting in front of what we do and just modeling it and running with it without asking for permission. So they didn't wait for this training; they just went and did it. So you don't need us to train you. You are allowed to go and learn how to use software too, because no one trains. I mean, Andrew once years and years ago showed us little bits of Zoom, and we ran with it, right? But ever since then, we didn't wait for Andrew to teach us the next thing about Zoom. We went and learned ourselves, right, Logs? You just don't wait.
Yeah,
All right.
well, yeah, guys, I mean, sometimes we can get a little bit caught up with, this is we get to build this our own way, and just like the people always like, where do I find leaders? It's people with initiative. There's no like, I am a leader written across, and it's always not. It's not the real estate agent that understands sales. It's not the physiotherapist that works with people all day. That has nothing to do with anything. It's the person who just has initiative, who has drive, who's willing to make mistakes, who's willing to just get in and get messy, take action. And Alicia did that fantastic post. I think it was earlier today or yesterday. Make sure you check it out, guys. All the mistakes that you make over the next 6 months, practicing and implementing these things, that like education and experience that you go through while you're making mistakes is what is then so valuable to all the people, because the biggest thing our products sell is saving people time. The biggest thing you can sell is basically like saving people the stress and the mistakes and the time of messing up their first Zoom call, messing up their PowerPoints, or spending 3 weeks doing PowerPoints when Canva could do it in 3 minutes. Like, so it's just that like that mindset again of I'm going to go out and just how quickly can I make all the mistakes? Because as soon as I make my mistakes, then I can turn around to the budding leaders in my team and say, righto, I know the way, I've gone the way, and let me show you the way. And that's it. So don't wait for permission. Don't wait for like anything. Google it if you don't know, YouTube it if you don't know. Like there's enough information out there. We just got to have that initiative and that drive to go out and figure things out. And that process is how you build authority and experience. And that's when people look to you and go, you obviously know what you're doing. Teach me.
There you go.
Lloydie, could I offer just 2 little tips on running your first, like with the nerves and everything?
Yeah, well, that's what this part's for now. So just so everyone knows, I'm going to answer that right now. Actually, we're going to do that right now, Liam. So when you come back to the breakout room, okay, it'll be like this. Everyone will be unmuted and be chatting. Everyone will be vibing, right? It's a whole different energy when they come back. That's what you want. Then you go, okay, guys, awesome. So how was that? Did anyone make a new friend? Hands up. Who met someone new? Who had the weirdo? You had the weirdo, Camilla? Who was the weirdo? Okay, so you just break the ice. That's all you do. I do that every time people coming out, okay? Facilitation of it. He said, now I'd love for you guys to open up and what came up. What did you get from that? So I'll come back. I'm going to answer Liam's question in a second, but I just want to facilitate this part so you see how it's done. Okay, what came up for everyone? What did you discuss? Who'd like to share? Someone that doesn't often share, here's your chance. Who wants to grow? Hands up. Great. So growth is getting out of your comfort zone. So who'd like to unmute and get out of their comfort zone?
Done. Doing it.
Great. Go, Sally Ann. What did you get out of that exercise breakout room?
That I'm not the only one that has worries or concerns of not being perfect, and we just got to get out and have a go, and we're all learning new.
Yes, we're all learning new. We're all learning machines. And you're not the first person to go and do something new.
Correct.
Well done. And everyone's scared, right?
Yep. Yep.
Wonderful. Excellent. Fantastic. Great. See how I reshaped her answer? Validated that? Awesome. What else came up for someone? Someone else in a different group they want to share. Tamara. Hey.
I made new friends on Facebook now.
Friends on Facebook. Who else made friends on Facebook? Awesome. Great. How good's that? Fantastic. One more. We'll do one more share. Someone who hasn't been before, would like to share. There's your chance. Forever hold your peace.
I'll share, Lloydie.
Leanne.
Only because I think that I'm actually in a lot of fear right now because I don't have a lot of time. So I said to the crew that I can't fit another workshop into my schedule before April. So I'm going to try to rework one of the ones I've already got with the new skills that I've just learnt through Alicia.
Okay, wonderful. So you're going to recalibrate some of your training, implement so you can test the new skills, yeah?
Yeah.
Great, awesome take. Who's going to do the same thing? Fantastic. Okay, great. So that's how you facilitate the breakouts. You're getting buy-in, feedback, and everyone's learning from each other. And you want to get more feedback to share more ideas. Okay. And then you finish, and then you go for a call to action at the end. You say, great, here's my call to action. Either message me if you want to have a private session where I can give you some extra value. If you want to do that, you can. It's like a one-on-one chat. Or, no worries, guys, don't forget, I don't know, just do some call to action. Just send them somewhere, get them to do something, okay? And then later on when you're talking to them, all this reciprocity you've built up. When you say, hey, just curious, I just started this program. Do you know anyone who wants to get in shape? They'll go, me, and then they'll start, okay? All right, now, going back to Liam's question, what were you asking, Liam?
I was just gonna, because it was the first time I'd done a big Zoom biohacking masterclass like that, I was just gonna give 2 tips for that whole initial nervousness.
You want to give some value around how to get over the nervousness?
Yeah. One, we've all got it, we all know it. I had 2 lots of ionics beforehand, and bloody godsend. But 2, it's always a bundle of nervousness and excitement. And I'm naturally prone to go to the nervousness. Oh God, it's gonna go wrong and this, that, and the other. And normally I'm not very animated. I'm quite like pretty average when I talk, but instead I ran to the excitement and I just got really silly, like animated, and my hands were going as I spoke, and all that nervousness just disappeared. So I thought I'd just throw those 2 out.
Perfect. So smash the ionics and go to excitement, not nerves. You raise a really good point. This guy that's been on broadcasting for many years coached me once years ago. He said, Lloyd, when you get on camera, it's 10x energy and excitement. I was like, don't I look like an idiot? He goes, no. It's just, it comes across normal on camera.
One more little tip if you're really terrified is do it with a friend. Like actually create a workshop together if you really like, and so you've got 2 people there to do all the tech stuff and think about what you're going to say and do it with a friend. So you can all find someone and help each other and
Get a battle buddy.
yeah, do the first few together.
So should we roll out the homework on that note?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of groups and doing it together.
Can I just ask a question?
Yes.
I have seen many workshops where you give prizes. You guys haven't mentioned that at all, and I haven't seen you necessarily give prizes like any other things you've done. Yes or
We
no
have.
to prizes?
Yeah, we have. We've
You
done.
have?
Yeah, of course. We look outside of the school fee. How many products giveaways?
Oh, heaps at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Like, you can do giveaways. Like, I did a goal setting workshop and I gave away a planner just the other day.
Yeah, cool.
I did it at the end. One of the cool things you can do, Fee, about giveaways is this. We mostly do it on, in fact, we did it on the biohacking masterclass, if you saw. We did it on the show. We do it on all of them. But it's so subtle, you may not even know. Here's what it looks like. Stay to the end, and we're going to give you this epic gift. It's worth $27. You'll get it for free if you stay to the end. It's our this.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's a gift. It's not so much a raffle or anything, a prize, but it's a gift. So what you say is, if you stay to the end, I'll give you this epic gift. It compels them to stay to the end. So if you're going to do it, Fee, definitely mention at the start, but bribe them. And say you're bribing them. I'll tell them like, listen, guys, you're not going to say, I'm going to bribe you, okay? Everyone ready to be bribed? Okay, great. You're going to get this if you stay to the end. They'll want to stay. We've had people watch a replay and go, can we have that thing at the end?
No.
So it definitely works. So definitely do it that way if you're going to do it, I think. But yeah, it's a good point. You can craft whatever you want for you. It's your baby. You can do whatever cool stuff comes to your mind. Like create what you want and deliver the workshop. But we feel there's at least a structure for you, so you can go and have some foundation and then build what you go and build a kick-ass workshop that you enjoy.
And ideally, you want to be able to create workshops that you can deliver face-to-face and online, right? But it's the same kind of principles, just one has a bit of online technology, another one has a different, like you're going to have a venue or your house and you're going to set it up and get people there and it's face-to-face, but it's the same principle. And you really want to end up having both going on. And maybe you'll end up with a preference, like doing it one way is where you really gather people versus the other way. But just keep that in the back of your mind. So it's the principles of doing this. It's about gathering more people than doing one-to-ones.
Yep. And a little caveat too on that is that when you do this and you become an expert in an area, it may pop up that people will pay you for your expertise. Here's a real important lesson. We've never let anything we've worked on get in the way of our Isagenix business. I've seen people in Isagenix businesses start cool stuff from the training they get in this company and go off and try and build businesses and forget about why they did it in the first place. We've never, ever compromised our Isagenix business for whatever we're doing. So if you go and like, I think Michael put there, I'm going to sell this. Great, go and do that. But remember why you did this. This is to build a 6-figure Isagenix business, not to go and become a Canva. You can, but let me tell you from experience, you think running one business is hard? Try running 2. It is very, very hard, right? Even when you got financial freedom, it's still flipping difficult. So just be careful you don't chase 2 rabbits at once. That would be my advice. Get one rabbit done first, 6 figures, residual isogenics, and then flywheel it out to something else. But if you chase 2, it'll all fall apart. Okay, just so you know. Just a little caveat. I've seen it happen gazillions of times. All right, cool. Any other questions? Are we good? One more? Mitt, Liv? All good? No one's got their hand up? Okay. So the homework task is, let's check. What does it say here? Is that the right? Exercise breakout, did that. Workshop, sure, did that. Okay. Register your workshop on Zoom. That's the first task. Register your workshop on Zoom. Practice the different features on Zoom using your breakout group from today. So go jump on together and break stuff. Okay. You learn how to let attendees in, share the screen, record, mute, all that. There's lots going on. And then get to enrollments. Okay. Don't forget that whilst this training is here, don't forget that we're also building an Isogenics business, which means enrollments are still critical. Miller?
Can I ask you, how did you find the breakout rooms, Lloyd?
What do you mean on the actual software?
On the Zoom, I've got the paid version of Zoom, and
so when you're a host,
yes,
you have to be a host. So you're not a host right now, so you wouldn't see
okay.
it. So down the bottom, there's 3 little buttons.
Okay.
Push them, and you'll see in the middle breakout rooms. Click it; it'll open it up, and you're ready to go.
Okay.
But don't forget, YouTube has all the answers.
So good.
How to, whatever you want to learn is on YouTube. Just so you know, how to use Zoom, how to do.
But I don't get the same laughs and the animated version like I do with you, Lloyd. I'm serious. Like, why would I go to YouTube when I've got you?
Well, you don't, because it's not duplicated. You won't.
It's true, Camilla. I just said to Lloyd in the breakout session, I'm tonight going to be having, not counting sheep, I'm going to be seeing Lloyd in high heels with a pageant dress walking across the stage now in front of me. I can't get it out of my head.
You guys will all be the same. When you do this,
the Isobody runway.
I love it, Scotty. That's awesome.
I just really want everyone to know that our first webinar we ever did was not like this. It was very clunky. We had all the papers out, what to say. It was very nerve-wracking, and so every master was a disaster. But you do many of these, and you'll also be excellent at this, and you guys will scale a great business. All right. Do I want to run your work?
No, so can I just jump on? I remember being on Lloyd's first webinar after he'd won a bodybuilding comp, and he'd set the goal. He'd absolutely crushed it. He'd won it, having never done a bodybuilding comp before. He then went and won his first ever bodybuilding comp. He did a webinar about it, and he forgot that his free version at the time only lasted 45 minutes. So 44 minutes into the webinar, he had to stop and pull his credit card out and pay.
No, we were using your Zoom, and you did it with your credit card.
and there's like this panic station. People still signed up.
Yeah.
People still again, but it's just you're doing the reps. Your first Facebook Live isn't great. The first time you share your story with a family member, it's not great. The first time you do anything, it's going to suck. And just again, have that mindset of the first 10 are probably going to suck, but I know the 10th is going to get better. The 20th is going to be really good. The 50th is going to be really great with my value posts, all that kind of stuff. The sooner I get those 10 out of the way, the sooner I'm going to get really good. And Lloyd and Alicia personify that more than anyone I've ever met. So guys, don't be too nervous, because you can forget to pay for the thing and be putting your credit card in during the thing, and still people were like, that was incredible. People absolutely loved it because Lloyd just shared his story and gave content. A couple of mistakes happened that made him human, and everyone could relate. And so it was like, perfectionism. People can't relate to something that's perfect. People relate to things that are imperfect. That's what makes us human. So leave your perfectionism behind and get messy.
Agreed. Alrighty, that's us. Thanks, Jen, Alicia, Andrew. Thank you all. Homework set. Let's see you next week. Have fun this week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.